Before the musical in 1982 and its film adaptation in 1986, The Little Shop of Horrors was just another cheesy horror movie from the man who knew his way around a low budget, Roger Corman. Released in 1960, this stars Jonathan Hayes as Seymour, who works at a local flower shop, who introduces his boss to a Venus flytrap-like plant, which he got from a mysterious Japanese gardener. He calls it Audrey Jr., named after Seymour's co-worker, who he has an affection for. But the plant doesn't require water or sunlight. This specimen loves human blood. He's a demanding bugger. The only thing he ever shouts is, "Feed me, feed me." At first, it's fine with just a couple drops, but over time, things get out of hand, and Audrey Jr. only grows in size as it eats more victims. Roger Corman has shown up a couple times on this box set, being a producer on Dementia 13 and Attack of the Giant Leeches, both of which are pretty awful, but he was the director on A Bucket of Blood, which is one of the best movies I've seen so far in this series, and it starred the charismatic Dick Miller, who also appears in this as a flower-eating stud. So far, I'm more impressed with Corman as a director since his projects seem to take a more humorous, self-aware approach. It's fitting that I would watch this after A Bucket of Blood, which was released in 1959. Little Shop of Horrors came out the following year and utilizes a lot of the same sets, so if you're looking for a good Dick Miller double feature, I'd start here. Of course, we all know Dick Miller from Gremlins at this point, but I never realized that Futterman's wife, who was played by Jackie Joseph, was also a Roger Corman alumni. In this movie, she plays Audrey, who decides to go on a date with Seymour, but they eat at the apartment with his mother, a woman who is perpetually in bad health. Why she would decide to go on this date, I'm not really sure. She's meant to be portrayed as an innocent, high-spirited character who goes with the flow, but the boss doesn't approve of Seymour at all, until the plant becomes an attraction, making the store more popular. But he becomes concerned when he catches Seymour in the act of feeding the plant a human foot. Eventually, the boss realizes that Seymour is killing people so the talking monstrosity can flourish. All the murders are complete accidents. Seymour throws a rock at an innocent bystander's head, he does the same to a prostitute, and he kills the dentist to defend himself against their crazy antics. This dentist is a nutcase, but I didn't even mention Jack Nicholson, who plays Wilberforce, one of the patients of the dentist, and a guy who loves the pain of a tooth extraction. This is one of his first roles, and for playing someone so minor, I can't believe just how much screen time they give him, and he's one of the highlights. I don't know if this is commonly considered so bad it's good, because if it is, that assumption is wrong. I was expecting something ridiculous and cheesy, but I didn't think it'd be so self-aware, particularly in the dialogue. The characters have some pretty funny lines, especially the flower shop owner, who is constantly in a state of aggressive paranoia. After seeing Audrey Jr. eat a human foot, he goes to the bar and orders every single alcoholic drink imaginable. It's a breaking point for him, but everything he says is hilarious. The detective, who's also the narrator, and is played by Wally Campo, who had a role in a movie literally called Machine Gun Kelly, has a conversation with an officer who recently had a child die because of matches, and they leave it at that. They play it off like it's not a big deal.
The kids lost one yesterday.
Lost one, eh? How'd that happen?
Playing with matches.
Well, those are bricks.
See, that's how you know it's all good fun, because imagine this kind of conversation in a dramatic piece, like Prisoners, for instance. That just wouldn't fit at all. This is a comedy poking fun at the B-movie genre, made by a B-movie king and produced on a B-movie budget. Having never seen the musical, I hope my genuine impression of the original will make you feel compelled to watch it. I'm always fascinated by something that can make so much out of so little. Sure, the plant's mouth doesn't always move properly, and it doesn't have the best lighting, but for a 72-minute movie, there's really no excuse not to watch it. It holds up after almost 60 years and is probably Roger Corman's masterpiece. Thanks to all my Patreon supporters. For only $7, you can get your own monthly movie review. Ask me to review anything I haven't already. There's also other perks like blogs, exclusive videos, and early access. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And thanks so much for watching this video.